Mobile game developers seem almost afraid to make direct sequels, which is why a lot of games like Where's My Water or Angry Birds technically only have 2 mainline games. But they are the opposite of being afraid of making spin-offs. They're addicted to it in some cases. It is rare to find some successful mobile game out there that doesn't have a match 3 spin-off at some point in its series history. So when it comes to making a spin-off for a series, the sky's the limit. It could be similar to the original game it's based on, with a new art style or game-changing mechanic. Or it can literally just be a completely different game. Omnom goes from sitting around eating candy to full-on sprinting and doing parkour Subway Surfer style. Anything and everything is possible when it comes to mobile game spin-offs, but that left me wondering, which game from each mobile game series was done the best? And are there some cases where the spin-off is even better than the source material? That's what I'd like to find out as we cover a wide range of mobile game genres throughout this video. And if I missed any series you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. Now, without further ado, let's find out if any of these games feel equal, or if they messed up so bad they became a prequel. By the time this video comes out, Subway Surfer's newest game, Subway Surfer City, won't even be new anymore. But I've been itching to try it since release and I've only heard good things. But you might not be aware that Subway Surfers actually has 4 other spin-off games in the series, so we'll be covering all of them and crowning one of them the ultimate Subway Surfer spin-off. The original Subway Surfers game is an endless runner, copying Temple Run's idea but popularizing the genre by introducing this 3-lane idea, so you can swipe to move between them and jump and duck to avoid obstacles. It's a very simple endless runner and is still easily the most popular game in the genre. So here is Subway Surfer City, and right off the bat I want to know how this game is any different from the original. After a few minutes of playing, it seems exactly the same, just with some nice new graphics and animations. But as you play, the game opens up more and more, and you get to try out all the new features, most of which are from Subway Surfers clones we've seen over the years. For example, there are levels now that you can 3-star by completing objectives. So far, they're all really short, but some of them are genuinely challenging, let you explore new ideas, and do some really fun parkour. And some of them go really fast, like there's boost pads to max out your speed. My biggest complaint about the original game is how slow it is, so these levels are by far my favorite. There's also a new ground pound move you can do, which allows you to break open secrets and bounce on certain objects. It's a fun addition to your moveset without complicating the controls, it's perfect. And other than that, you can still play the original Endless mode, but this time there are new locations to explore. You can find the docks first, which have some pretty crazy obstacles and gimmicks, and that only makes me more excited to try out the later areas. Subway Surfer City is pretty dang fun, and considering I already know what the other spin-offs are like, I have a feeling it's probably not going to get any better than this. I mean, I'd go as far as to say this is better than the original game, so good luck to the other spin-offs out there. The only other original idea Subway Surfers has ever tried is Subway Surfers Tag. I don't really know what genre of game this even is, but in each round you fight waves of robots and an occasional boss while skateboarding around the park. You can pick up coins and new weapons as you go, while also dodging the attacks from your enemies. It's an endless game, it goes as long as you can hold out for, but you can buy upgrades after the round so you can do better and better the more you play. I just don't really like games like this, and it feels so weird compared to the simple gameplay of the original. I'm not really a fan of this game, but I appreciate that they tried something new. I cannot say the same for the rest of these, starting with Subway Surfers Match. Yep, there are only 4 spin-offs in the entire series, and one of them is a damn Match 3 game. A bare bones, as simple as it gets Match 3 game too. It looks nice, the animations are good and everything, but there isn't any effort in this and the game got taken off the App Store because of it. Good riddance, I'd say. Same for Subway Surfers Blast. Yes, that's correct. Not only did they make a Match 3 game, they made a Block Blast game. And once again, it doesn't get simpler. And once again, it got taken off the App Store. Why even bother making these shitty games in the first place? So strange. Our last game is Subway Surfers Airtime, a Snapchat exclusive game. Other than this, which I only knew about because I made a video about Subway Surfers games, I had no idea Snapchat had games, and certainly not a brand new one for a relatively small series. It's just a reskin of the classic mobile game Tiny Wings, where you try to perfectly land on each hill to max out your airtime. It looks cute, but obviously isn't going to be the best game in the series, which means I've got to give it to Subway Surfer City. It didn't have much competition sadly, but hey, that's a brand new mobile game in 2026 that's actually pretty good, so that's victory in my book. The Where's My Water series is by far the most reserved when it comes to its spin-offs. Not once did they try a new gameplay style. Instead, they moved from mascot to mascot with a unique Disney franchise to focus on in each one. Most of you are familiar with Where's My Perry and Where's My Mickey, but how many of you played Where's My Xi Yang Yang? Exactly. Just as a refresher, the original Where's My Water is a puzzle game about moving water through the stage to collect all the rubber duckies and fill up Swampy's tub by the end. The gameplay is the same in all of these, so there's no real need to compare it to the rest of the games. We'll start with the classic, the fan favorite, Where's My Perry. Since it was the first follow-up to the original, with brand new levels and mechanics never before seen in the Where's My Water series, with Perry the freaking platypus, it's a no-brainer this game was as popular as it was. This game had a big focus on water levels and steam levels, which helped make it stand out from the first game. But the saddest thing with all these games is that there isn't enough change in each of these to really make them that much more special than the original. They're all better than the official sequel, Where's My Water 2, but that's not much of an achievement to be honest, because that game sucks massive dookie balls. Going on missions with Agent P, collecting gnomes, and trying out Doofenshmirtz is a great time and, once again, is going to be hard to beat for the rest of these. Where's My Mickey was the obvious choice for their next mascot, especially as a tie-in for the new Mickey Mouse shorts airing at the time, which still hold up to this day.
Hey, knock it off in there! Okay. Changed my mind. Keep beating.
But anyways, other than the new art style, the biggest new change for this game was the cloud mechanics. Rather than being underground like in the previous two games, we're outside, at the beach for example, and we have weather to deal with because of that. Water can get sucked up by the clouds, which can be blown around by wind and dropped off wherever you please. It's a good idea that definitely makes this game feel unique compared to the other entries. I feel super nostalgic for all the early levels in this game, but it had significantly less levels than the other games, even if the new mechanics and concepts were still fun. This game just got much less support than the rest of the series, which is only indicative of the end of the series as a whole, and there would only be one final game released before the end. So which Disney mascot would get the spotlight here? Maybe a princess like Moana who can control water? Maybe something new at the time for a tie-in, like something from Monsters University or a Marvel character? Nope, all wrong. We got Pleasant Goat instead from the series Xi Yang Yang. I'm still probably not saying that right, so I'll just say XYY from now on. This is such a strange release, and it actually did super well in China, but never got updated in the US because nobody really played it. I personally had never tried it before now, and I ended up 100%ing the whole thing. I just love these games, and I haven't played new levels from them in a long time. The new mechanics from this one all revolve around fire, either evaporating your water or burning wood. The oil is a really cool new idea, as it floats on top of your water. I think this is a really solid Where's My Water game, and I only really like Where's My Perry more because I don't care about XYY at all. But I'd say this one is better than Mickey in my opinion. Which means Where's My Perry wins the competition, as it deserved to. I'll always consider the original game to be the best of the series, but Perry is definitely a close second. Geometry Dash is a weird one, since it only has one full game. They released a bunch of mini demo games, which is what we'll be covering today, and each of these games were to showcase new mechanics and ideas and easier levels for people to try for free, to tempt them to buy the full game. So obviously none of these are better than the full game, but I'd still like to try them back to back and see what the best one is. First up is Geometry Dash Meltdown. This one has the simplest levels of the three, all of them so easy even I can beat them, on my first try no less. They're still fun because this game is fun, and I like the music from these three levels too. I can't play any of them thanks to copyright, but these games are all free so you can go check them out if you want to listen to them. But unlike our first two series so far, I can promise you the first game we're covering, Meltdown, will not be my favorite spin-off of the group. Just look at the gameplay of Meltdown vs. Sub-Zero. I don't think I have to explain which side is the cooler one. Sub-Zero, from the very first level, features some of my favorite Geometry Dash concepts in the entire series. We start out with a full-on boss fight. This big skull chases you down and even shoots at you during the end of the stage. But these little mini levels you play halfway through are so fun and unique. I would play an entire Geometry Dash level based around a bunch of minigames like this. Every level has new gameplay ideas too, like the little rocket jump guy or the zippy arrow thing, and look, I don't know what they're called, and how else should I describe them? These new mechanics are always what caused me to lose though. I could definitely beat these stages if I wasn't so rusty at them. Like the third level. I make it over halfway through flawlessly, then this teleporting section starts and I simply can't keep up. But it's fun to have a challenge, that's what Geometry Dash is all about. And so, I love Sub-Zero very much. I only played Geometry Dash World once, and I kinda thought this was a brand new game considering it was called World. It does have 10 levels rather than 3 this time, with 2 quote-unquote worlds in total, but yet again it never went any further than that, and it never got a single update. But 10 levels is a lot, and if it was done well, this would have swept Sub-Zero. But here's why I love the concept of Geometry Dash World, not the game itself. Every level is only 30 seconds or so, and each time it feels like it's building up to something. The base is about to drop, and then the level ends and you move on to the next one. These feel like little tutorials, an easy mode of a stage for practice before playing the real stage. But the idea of having levels in a Geometry Dash game where you progress through a story or level theme, that's really cool, and exactly the kind of spin-off game that makes complete sense for the Geometry Dash series. But this is just not that. Some of these levels are straight up small, slowed down portions of levels from the other games, and they do work as nice practice for getting better at these mechanics, but other than that, the whole game is slow and boring. And a disappointment after Sub-Zero, the clear winner of the spin-off competition here. I love every chance I get to replay it, and I'm hoping a video never forces me to replay World ever again. Let's move to Cut the Rope next, another puzzle game series with quite a few spin-offs over the years. These range from extensions to the main game to completely new genres for the series. But starting with the original Cut the Rope game, we have puzzle levels where your goal is to get the candy to Omnom while collecting 3 stars along the way. And each level pack would introduce brand new game-changing ideas to always keep things fresh. The original game is amazing, and these other games are going to have to try real hard to top it. Cut the Rope Experiments came out pretty soon after the original, and was really just more of the same, to the point where all these levels could have appeared in the base game. They all vaguely had a science-y theme to them though, and the level design here is still amazing, so I can't complain too much. For some reason, the ant farm levels always stick in my head. They're not even the best levels, they're just iconic. In some ways, Cut the Rope Experiments is cooler than just a traditional sequel. It's got a fun theme no other mobile game series has tried, and has a certain feel and charm to it that no other game in the series has managed to capture. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I have a deep love for Cut the Rope Experiments, and I think I always will. Cut the Rope Time Travel makes much more sense as a standalone game, not only for the theme this time around, but now we have 2 candies and 2 Omnoms to deal with in each stage. You can't win unless both are fed, and this leads to a ton of new level concepts, on top of brand new mechanics for each level pack. Genuinely every single level in this game, from start to finish, has incredible puzzle design. It is a blast through the entire thing, and each pack of levels is as good as the previous ones. If I had to pick a favorite, I love the Ancient Egypt mechanic, where one of the candies mimics the other until it's eaten. The idea leads to so many fun levels, but I also like the bombs because explosions are always fun. Cut the Rope Time Travel has gotta be one of the best puzzle games ever made, and I think it's my favorite Cut the Rope game so far. Cut the Rope Magic went for a fun new art style, which I have to commend. I'll always love the classic designs, but this game is beautiful looking too. This game's big gimmick is Omnom's transformations. Each level pack is themed around Omnom's new Animorph ability, or also his Tiny ability, which is the only non-animal related one, which makes no sense, but whatever. You can be a fish, or a stinky rat, or a bird, whatever you want to be, basically. And once again, man, this game is so fun. These first Cut the Rope games are all so well made. They're a blast from start to finish every time. I don't particularly like the levels with the little magic trails though. They're often unnecessarily slow, and I feel like there's a lot of them in the game when, let's be real, the damn ant farm levels in Cut the Rope Experiments are the exact same thing, but better. I think people sleep on Cut the Rope Magic, but it isn't nearly just as good as the first 3 games, and that is a huge compliment, even though they did straight up steal Where's My Water idea for a bunch of the levels in this game. And after that, we started getting games like this. Welcome to Omnom Run, one of the many Subway Surfers clones that don't even try to evolve the genre in any way, they just copy it to the T. The only things going for this game are the Battle Royale mode, that sucks ass, the character creator, which is kind of fun, but also sucks big ass, and this stupid little dance Omnom does, which, you guessed it, sucks big ol' ass. There's just not much to say about it. This is Subway Surfers, but worse. And while it's more of a proper spin-off than the other games, which are more like sequels, it is obviously a worse game, and completely uninspired at that. They also made pretty much every other cash grab mobile game genre out there, and obviously none of them are going to be good, so we can rapid fire through them. They made a bubble popping game, and it's as basic as they come. They made a block blast game, which is somehow worse than basic. They made a merge game. I hate how addicting these can be. And they even made a little Tamagotchi My Omnom game. I don't think anyone out there loves Omnom this much that they want all these spin-offs featuring him. I cannot imagine any of these were successful. Most of them have been taken off the App Store by now, so that further proves my point. And of course, they're all terrible and make me wish Cut the Rope never had spin-offs to begin with. Lastly, there's Cut the Rope Daily, which is a Netflix exclusive game, featuring the classic gameplay style with this sketchy Doodle Jump inspired art style. I think this game is pretty good, but I really hate how it looks. Like, yeah, maybe there's some charm to it, but in the end, it's gonna look cheap because it is cheap, especially compared to the old games, as old as 12 years in some cases, yet they look better and cooler than this cheap shit. This game isn't as bad as its art style though, I gotta admit. It's kinda cool. Obviously, there's a new level every day, and each month is a new theme, just like the old level packs. Almost all of them are copying the old mechanics from the old games, like Classic and Experiments, but they're still cool. And now there's 10 stars to collect rather than 3, which makes for a much bigger and more complex level. They're definitely worse because of this, but it helps this game stand out for sure. It's funny how the second I opened this game, I was hit with a cultural appropriation omnom. That's a great first impression. But of course, the winner here is Cut the Rope Time Travel. It's my favorite game in the whole series. I'd have to say all the old Cut the Rope games are about equally amazing in my opinion. They still hold up to this day. Me including Doodle God in this video resulted in a real roller coaster. I thought it'd be fun because I haven't played any of these games in forever, and I remember there being a ton of spin-offs over the years. If you're unfamiliar, it's like Little Alchemy or Infinite Craft. You combine two of the elements you have to make new elements. You are the god, and all the art is the doodles. As soon as I remembered that, I suddenly realized, oh yeah, all these games are literally the exact goddamn same. So is there even a point to comparing them all? My answer to this question? Stream myself 100% in the first Doodle God until I beat it. Potent oil, that's smart. You're smarter than I am. There's oil. You're an idiot. You thought bow and oil would work? Are you actually stupid? Idiot. You actually thought bow and oil was gonna do something? Which took me 5 hours. And then the very next day I did the exact same thing with Doodle Devil, its first spin-off. This quickly helped me realize that the games are quite different in terms of the things you can make, but exactly the same in gameplay and concept. I was a natural when it came to the original Doodle God. Yes, I love weapons. Now we're getting somewhere. Once you make weapons, then the whole game opens up. Weapons is when things get interesting. Made Robin Hood on a damn mountain, shooting a dinosaur. Hunter doesn't do anything. Stupid. Pissing me off. Meat! What? Oh my god, I'm gonna freak out. Cole should make goddamn Santa Claus. Cole doesn't do anything. Don't use the god's name in vain, dude. Not cool. But the second I got to Doodle Devil, I was floundering, because we went from making the simple stuff like bacteria or paper to making democracy, desert eagles, and anarchy. You literally make these 7 deadly sins and a few more I'm extremely afraid of showing that footage because I'm not sure if it's okay to show cartoon naked women on YouTube. But that's Doodle Devil for you. It is so much harder to think about what you can combine to make sins and political concepts, especially compared to the next game, Doodle Farm, where all you freaking do is make a bunch of animals. Oh yeah, and I streamed that too. This game sucks harder than ever before, and never gave me the option to see which animals have 0 matches, so I was forced to combine everything with everything. And some of the matches simply don't make sense or are far too obscure to ever figure out yourself. The best example is how to make Triceratops. We have a dinosaur we can use, but nope, dinosaur isn't the answer. The Loch Ness Monster combined with the ground makes a Triceratops. What a sick joke! I thought making animals would be fun, but this game proved me wrong on stream. So I gave up streaming and just checked out the other spin-offs to see if they're any different. Doodle Kingdom is the same as always, featuring magic and medieval items. Oh wait, we already did that shit in Doodle God. Next! Doodle Creatures is more science-themed, with some sexy scientist lady wearing a nurse cap for some reason. I didn't find a working version of this one, but based on the trailer, it's probably pretty dang similar apart from the layout having hexagons instead of circles. Doodle Mafia is easily the weirdest concept for one of these games, but right away I was bought in. It came across like you were meant to solve a mystery within a city, and as you found new elements, you would learn more about the case. But the more I played, the more I struggled to make anything. This game is really hard, with 30 categories featuring tons of way too similar elements. We got citizens, society, stranger, person, criminal. These are all the same in my eyes. I thought this would be my favorite, but I gave up on it around 30 elements in. And lastly, we have Doodle Tanks, which sounds awesome, and then it turned out to be this. Apparently this is a game for tank engineers only. Like, what the hell is all this? As someone who knows squat diddly about tanks, how was that a complete loss when it came to figuring this shit out? I could barely make 20 unique elements before I threw in the towel. That is an insane game that hurts my brain just thinking about it. And why is this the only damn game in the series like this? I'm pretty sure kids mostly play this games, and even the UI for this game ain't for kids anymore. This ain't a damn doodle, that's a freaking photograph! Suffice to say, this is not winning the category. Maybe I just hate the Doodle games, dude. I only really like the original now, but I have to pick a spin-off to win. So I'm picking Doodle Creatures for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't have to spend 3 to 5 hours playing it, and 2, it's got this sexy woman, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. There's a bunch of series out there with only one spin-off of note, so let's put them head to head to see which one has done the best job. The Hungry Shark games were pretty much perfect, and I have a hard time imagining what other spin-off could possibly work other than Hungry Dragon. Think about it, you can move freely in the water as a shark, so the only other non-aquatic animal to choose for a spin-off has to fly. And the only flying creature that makes any sense to eat humans and smaller birds is a dang dragon. My only complaint is that some of the dragons take up half the screen and it's way too zoomed in at times. But the designs are fun, it controls great, and the setting is cool too. It's so vastly different from Hungry Shark, almost like a fairy tale land with goblins and stuff, that helps this stand on its own. My cousin loves this game but doesn't even play Hungry Shark, he just likes this dragon version. To me, it's not nearly as good, but like I said, different enough with a lot of new stuff for fans of the original game, and pretty much the perfect concept for a spin-off in this series. Fruit Ninja Puss in Boots, on the other hand, I'm not quite sure how or why this collaboration came to be, but don't be so quick to judge. I think we're all familiar with the classic game, where your goal is to slice all the fruit without accidentally swiping a bomb in the process. You can play that same classic gameplay in the Puss in Boots version too. And this adventure mode. It's like a small minigame pack essentially, challenging you to complete a task within the time limit to move on to the next round. I get bored of regular Fruit Ninja pretty quickly, but this? I love this, I'd play this for hours. Why this isn't in the original game or the sequel is beyond me, but that's a spin-off for you, better than the original in my opinion. But I'm not so sure it's gonna top Hungry Dragon or our next game, Crossy Road Castle. I could have included Disney Crossy Road, but I'm biased on that one. It's literally in my top list of mobile games ever made, so we'll just include Crossy Road Castle, which actually completely flipped the Crossy Road gameplay formula. No longer are we playing Frogger, now we're climbing a tower with platforming levels to beat one at a time. Since it's a lot easier to die and rounds can last anywhere from 10 minutes to hours, there's a live system too, and you can pay with coins to keep yourself going at each checkpoint. Just like the original, it's still an endless game, and the rooms get more challenging as you play. There's even boss fights after beating 30 floors. You think Crossy Road boss fights might be kinda weird or boring or easy, and they are none of those things. These giant birds are always intimidating and love killing a good round if you're not prepared. And with a ton of unique towers, with new mechanics and bosses defined, this game really has a lot going for it. I forgot how fun this is until playing it again here. I got addicted to trying to reach the 100th floor on these towers. And with the secret doors you can find, featuring hidden collectibles, yeah, this is the exact kind of shit I love. They have put a lot of work into Crossy Road Castle, making it a tough game to beat for the rest of these spin-offs. The classic hill climb racing is one of my all-time favorites, slowly upgrading your vehicles to make it further and further on these very hilly roads, eventually rolling your neck in the process. Hill climb racing got a sequel, and a third game is releasing any day now. But a much lesser known spin-off of the series is LEGO Hill Climb Adventures. I'm glad they took the racing out of the name for once, since like the original game, this really is not about racing. It's more exploration based. You're meant to find secrets and upgrades as you play. Mid-round, you can find boosts for your vehicle, or if it's falling apart, you can repair it. I think this is a great addition to what Hill Climb Racing was already all about, and with the LEGO theme, there's a big emphasis on building things or smashing through them. I've never played much of this game until now, but I really enjoyed it. And it's crazy that out of all the mobile game series LEGO could have partnered with, they somehow chose Hill Climb Racing. Insane. In the Plants vs. Zombies series, we have a bunch of spin-offs, but 3 of them are console shooter games. Adventures was a Facebook exclusive that's gone, their Match 3 game sucks ass and hasn't officially released yet, and then we're left with Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. It's a little unfair to even include this one because for about a year, I played this game daily. Yes, that's right, every single damn day. In my defense, it was mostly so I could unlock cards to use for footage in my videos, but obviously I enjoyed playing the game too. Compared to the original tower defense gameplay of Plants vs. Zombies, where you simply plant your defenses and let them do the work, this is a big change. For example, I'm playing as a zombie right now, and I have to not only build a deck with good zombies to play in the game, but also strategize how to beat my opponent's cards at the same time. This is pretty much the only card-based game I've ever spent time playing, and I love it. This game had so much potential, but never got the chance to achieve it, since it was never updated. And like I said, I'm a bit biased to play this one at the top. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes is a genius spin-off of the series, has a fun new art style, great card ideas, wonderful music, but I think I'm gonna crown Crossy Road Castle as our champion. Just compared to the Frogger knockoff we started with, Crossy Road Castle evolved into something unlike anything I've ever played before. All these other games are familiar, something we're used to, but I have yet to play anything like Crossy Road Castle, and they deserve the win here. You dropped your crown, king. Covering the Bloons spin-offs next, I'm grouping all the tower defense games under the mainline series and only playing the different genres of games I tried out. Technically, all the tower defense games are spin-offs though, since the original Bloons game looked like this. So if we're playing that way, Bloons CD5 or 6 would dominate every other game on here. So that's why I decided to only check out the side games of the series, starting with Hot Air Balloon. What a strange game, especially considering all the old Bloons games were Flash games on PC or something, and now they're making this random Flappy Bird game on mobile. The best footage out there, since this game is long gone, features the boss fights, which were actually pretty good. But this whole game is just plain weird, and I know we can do better. The Bloons Super Monkey games are actually pretty fun. They're vertical scrolling shoot 'em up games, basically Toho ripoffs, where you shoot down balloons, collect these little dots called blops, and upgrade your Super Monkey over the course of the game to be stronger and stronger. It started out as a pretty simple Flash game, taking less than a half an hour to beat every level in it. They actually made a second Flash game that had a lot more to do, but then also made another game called Super Monkey 2 and released it on mobile, despite these games being completely different. So when they made the sequel for mobile, well, they had to ruin things a bit. The game is still fun, arguably more so since you have way more upgrade options, way more levels, and even multiple Super Monkeys to unlock. There's even some boss fights featuring things that are clearly not balloons for a change. The gameplay is still fun and there's cool upgrades to work towards, but now you have to grind to get enough money to pass difficult levels, you have to earn gold medals on old stages in order to progress, and overall it definitely has a pay-to-win vibe, where you could unlock a bunch of upgrades for your Super Monkey as long as you throw down some real-life cash. Again, these games are really fun, but I'm sort of hoping another Bloons spin-off will be better. And it's probably not going to be Bloons Pop. Let's be thankful it just isn't a Block Blast or Match 3 game. It's like a lot of bubble poppy games out there, but they have generally put some work in it to make it unique. You're supposed to pop every balloon on screen using the different monkeys and towers in your deck. It makes use of a lot of the hero monkeys from Bloons TD6, which always pop a ton of balloons, making every single early level a complete cakewalk. They do a good job of giving you new monkeys pretty much every other level, keeping things interesting there. But even if this game got challenging, even if there were twists and turns and crazy looking monkeys, I really don't think I'd care. This is so much better than Subway Surfers cash grab spin-offs, I won't deny it, but that doesn't make it good. It is certainly worse than Super Monkey 2. Lastly, currently the newest game in the Bloons series is Cardstorm. When I made my video on every Bloons game, this was just about to release, and now it's out and I can play it for real. Like I said during the Plants vs. Zombies Heroes section, I really don't play a lot of deck building games, so when I find this game to seem fun, I'm completely uneducated on the genre. You have to balance sending balloons to your opponents while also putting out attackers to pop the balloons coming towards you. It's turn-based of course, so you can plan out strategies and load up a bunch of balloons to send to your opponent. But in my experience playing for this video, you can just go back and forth with your opponent constantly healing your hero. This round took so goddamn long because anytime one of us were attacked, we just heal 100 health back. It took an army of BFBs, leaving my opponent with negative 980 health to finally wipe this stupid loser out. 17 turns with almost nothing happening. It's just a slog, dude. This was a tutorial fight. I really think healing at all kinda ruins the fun of a game like this, because every round I played would only end if me or my opponent had so many large balloon types coming out that there's nothing left to be done. And again, I'm new to this game, and obviously you could build a deck to not do that, but I currently am not having fun with the game, and therefore will never get to have a deck like that. But this is a very complex game with a lot going for it, and even with all these grievances, this definitely feels like it deserves to be the best of the Bloons spin-offs. Please let me know if you disagree though, or why you might love Bloons Card Storm. I am not experienced enough to write it properly, so I'd love to hear from someone who is. We're ending the video with Angry Birds spin-offs, and as you might be aware, there's a lot of goddamn Angry Birds spin-offs out there. Technically, we only have 2 mainline games, and every other release is a spin-off. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and play all 30 to 40 of them right now. I'm going to choose 4 to play in this video, and if I ever make a part 2, I'll include another 4, and see if any of those can beat our winner today. Let's start with the very first spin-off, Angry Birds Seasons. This game, in its early years, has some of the best Angry Birds levels of all time, and each of the old Halloween and Christmas and even St. Patrick's Day levels feel so nostalgic now. Towards the middle of its life, it even introduced new birds to the flock, Bubbles and Stella. Some of the biggest fan favorites out there were added to this game first. We also got Tony, but he hasn't gotten much attention since his debut, sadly. But towards the last year or two of this game, it went way downhill, adding in some of my least favorite levels in Angry Birds history. It's tough because those old levels are so great, but it's hard not to hate the new stuff as well. So I definitely like Angry Birds Seasons, but it's not my favorite slingshot game out there, and about on par with the original game. Bad Piggies is probably the most famous Angry Birds spin-off, since it was allowed to stay on life support after pulling the plug on every other classic Angry Birds game. Bad Piggies lets you play as the villains for a change, building vehicles to get to the finish line in each level. This game encourages and sometimes even demands thinking outside the box, trying weird ways to beat these stages, daring to try a strategy you never thought of before. One of my all-time favorite levels basically has you fly yourself as a kite across a rocky terrain before letting yourself loose to soar towards the finish line. I've never played another game in my life with an idea even close to this, and I could say the same thing for this game as a whole. Nothing is like Bad Piggies. It is an entirely unique experience that can never be topped, can never be done again, and can honestly never be beaten by the rest of these spin-offs I've lined up. If you couldn't tell after that glaze fest we just had, I freaking love Bad Piggies, as does everyone who's ever played it. In an attempt to try all sorts of Angry Birds spin-offs, since there are so many of them, I figured we needed to try a modern one, something based around what's popular on the app stores these days, and that lands us on Angry Birds Dream Blast. It's a match 3 game but with physics, which I suppose makes it a tiny bit more interesting. I'm not far enough in the game to play anything challenging or unique though, all these are baby easy. And speaking of babies, why the actual shit are the Angry Birds baby mode in this game? For what reason? It's not like Angry Birds were for adults before, we don't need them to be infantilized. I could have picked any of the modern Angry Birds games and none of them would come close to the top, so it really makes no difference, and it shouldn't be all that surprising that Dream Blast isn't going towards the top. And lastly, we have the racing game Angry Birds Go, which is relevant again for the first time in years because they brought Red and his cart into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which for me just got announced, and for you is in the game already. Anyways, Angry Birds Go is pretty much the first attempt at a 3D Angry Birds game, putting the characters and carts for a downhill race across a series of unique maps. There's only like 5 technically, but with variations to each, and either way, the spotlight was always the characters, unlocking them all and using them to earn coins to upgrade your carts. Now, you maybe notice I'm playing the 2.0 version for footage, and if you aren't aware, the game used to be awesome, and then version 2.0 rolled around, changed the entire game, took away years of progress from its players, and in every way possible made the game worse. Except in the graphics department. At least the game looks nice. So yeah, what was once a really amazing racing game became an embarrassment to the Angry Birds franchise. Add it to the list, am I right? Which means Bad Piggies takes the cake. For now, of course, and we shall see if we cover more Angry Birds spin-offs in the future, if it can be beat. Well, we've crowned our spin-off kings, the best of each series in this video, and of course the winner of our miscellaneous category. And for most of these, I feel like there is a very clear winner from the group, one that I really enjoyed, and then a bunch of slop I wish never got made in the first place. Of course, some series like Angry Birds or Cut the Rope or even Where's My Water to an extent have a bunch of great spin-offs. So maybe now we can finally answer the question, what exactly makes a good spin-off anyways? Is it about being as close to the source material, almost acting as a sequel or continuation? Is it about trying a brand new gameplay style? Or is a simple art style change enough to do the trick? Well, maybe I'm biased, but half the time they try doing a new gameplay style, it seems to be some sort of mobile game slop. And so I end up favoring the gameplay I already know and love. But the great thing about spin-offs is that anything and everything goes. They can go balls to the walls or play it safe. It truly does not matter. And that's what makes mobile game spin-offs so unique, so fun, and so memorable. So please, if there's a mobile game spin-off out there that you love, please let me know. Even though we only played through 8 series or so, we covered a lot of games in this one video. So I called it quits before getting to the other big hitters like Temple Run or Doodle Jump. And if you'd like to see them and some more series in another video, please let me know. And leave a like on this video so it can do well. Thank you. And thanks to my Patreon members, who could have watched this video at least a month early, along with all the other videos I had done at the time, and my channel members, Patrick Byerjean, Keep, Callum Ford, Timur Kuranov, Aaron the Ghoul, Freakish Smile, Geminat, Lewis, Dante, MGR Damadan, Einerjar, Jonathan Biscoff, OK, Kirby Fan Real 1992, Green Man Yeah, Alice Wilson, MacDax2, Lavatane, Purple Man 932, Test Monkey, Sleepy Boy 74, Ortsethos 9250, Whale Hujeri, and Jeff the Legend. After doing my mobile game sequels video, this felt like the natural evolution. And like I said at the beginning of this video, it feels like developers are almost scared to make sequels, but love making spin-offs. Some series like Subway Surfers don't have a sequel, yet there's a whole series of games that come after it. So anyways, I hope this video was a worthy spin-off of those sequel videos I did last year, and earned a crown in all of your eyes too. Oh, it did? Well, that's mighty kind of you, stranger.